done it, a thank you very much for donations. Those of you who would care to contribute to our operational costs are more than welcome to put $100 or $500 or even $1,000 bill in the box on your way out. Thank you very much. I'm going to introduce the lovely Vice President of the Historical Society, who is also the program chairman and who has been singularly responsible for putting together the programs that we've had in the past, that we have tonight, and we'll be having in the future. Please welcome Penelope Jessup.
Yeah, you should get it right. Thank you. And before I introduce Phil, I did want to make you aware of what we have coming up. If you're members, you know we have our annual dinner coming up in June, and we have a very interesting display that Ben Lounsbury is going to put on called Name That Landmark. So it's a game that we'll be playing, and the winner gets a video of this. And it's just different places in the area that he starts very tiny and pans out until you can identify it. So I believe he's done this before at the library, but, and then we don't have, well, July we have Peggy DuBois coming, who will be speaking on her new book, which is highly set in Lewiston, and it's a great little novel. And so she'll be talking about that. We don't have anything in August, but in September we have Maine archivist Kate McBrien coming and speaking about the goings-on at Malaga Island, what happened. And in October we have Doug Brooks speaking about Judge Belleville. So we have a pretty full slate, but November is going to be our 100th anniversary. And we have the Penobscot Marine Museum has glass slides of many of the counties in Maine, and they are going to put together a show specifically for Androscoggin County that will be shown here. They'll all take place here except the annual dinner. So thank you. This is a pleasure to have Phil here. We planned this 3 years ago, and then COVID kind of derailed us, but Phil has been active. Yes, exactly, my puns. Phil started this project, did you not? The Narcissus,
well,
the general?
I got it restarted.
Okay, he was the director and general manager, and he has been behind the restoration all the way with his best right hand, Ernie. And so I look forward to learning far more. Just looking at the artifacts back there has me wishing I could be riding on that. So thank you, Phil. We appreciate your coming.
Thank you, Penny. Yes, I'm Phil Morse from the Trolley Museum. I became a member in 1991, but the first time I rode trolleys there was in the late 50s, when the museum's operation for trolley operations was on Route 1, right on the Arundel-Biddeford line. That only was in place for 3 years, because what they found was instead of keeping people out of where the trolleys were and keeping them on Route 1, it split everybody up, because once they get a taste of them on Route 1, they wanted to go see the ones that were in Kennebunkport. So they closed that down and brought everything there. But I can remember my mom and I rode in one of the double-deckers from the British Isles, like 59 or 60. And then went to a couple of events at the museum when I was younger. But it wasn't until, I'm not a rail fan, but it wasn't until our second son was born, and to give mom and the baby a break, we only lived a couple miles away. I brought the 3-year-old out in the afternoon, and we happened to go to the museum, and the gal selling tickets, she and I had gone to middle school together in Kennebunkport in the mid-60s, and she encouraged me to take out a membership. Membership's important. Take out a membership, and for 5 years we went as a family and went to events and had birthday parties there for our boys and that kind of thing. But I'd read the newsletter, and we didn't contribute back then. We didn't volunteer. We were just participating in the activities that were available. But I'd read the newsletter, and I got interested in what the volunteers did behind the scenes. Because there's so much that goes on that if you just come to the museum, just go for a ride, I shouldn't say just go for a ride because it's exciting, and you see the work, you go, wow, this must have taken a lot of work. You have no idea. Sorry. But, you know, and you see all, you're impressed and you enjoy it and all that stuff. But you read what's going on, you go, 3 volunteers went to Japan for 2 weeks looking for parts. What? You know, just crazy. They traded camera equipment for a trolley car in Budapest before the curtain. You know, what? So, so I started volunteering in '96. But I still don't operate the cars after 30 years of being there, 25 as an active volunteer. But let me see if I can find the slideshow I put together here. This actually is a commissioned work of art by a Kennebunk artist that did the Fast Friends card that you see there. And this portion right here actually is an original PLI waiting station from West Cumberland. And it was put up in 1915. It's called Morrison Hill Station. And we have all kinds of stories. And one of this really, for me, one of the really important things with the local historical societies is members in the local community oftentimes, when they're cleaning things out or want to be sure things are safe, that are family belongings, like family journals, they'll donate them to the local historical society. They know they're going to be safe and they're going to be utilized. And so some family members that know that their family interacted with the Portland-Lewiston Interurban have those family journals, and they've kindly shared them with me. So then there's these incredible stories about how somebody sold a piece of land so the tracks could go through, literally next to their farmhouse, got contracted by W.S. Libby to, do different things. Oh, and W.S. Libby stopped by one day and had lunch. It's like, what? I mean, all those little notes, they weren't emails that disappeared. They're handwritten by that family member 100 years ago. It's incredible. And all that stuff, I just love it all. So that waiting station was the Wilson family was there, and so. Let's see what this one is. Oh, that's not it. Oh, fundraising. Did we talk about fundraising? Oh yeah, fundraising. That's might be a minute. So the book you buy today, the cards you might choose to buy today, 50% gets donated to the Historical Society. 50% gets donated to the Narcissus project today. So.
And thank you for that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, I like doing that stuff. Let me see if I can find this. So, should that be showing whatever's on my screen now?
It was a minute ago. You must have the screen setting somewhere.
So, that is the screen. So, I gotta go to. So this is the slideshow.
There's something about it's a Chromebook, and yet Chromebook experts. Somewhere there's a setting for how to project the
So I
screen.
can't even see